So many units, when it is put together, it forms a big molecule called as macromolecule, and such molecules are called as polymers. Addition polymerization will occur with monomers which contain double or triple bonds. Thread-like structure, they're basically called as fibers, and they have a high tensile strength and high modules are present in fibers. Hello my dear students, I am Priyanka Rajaram from Vidyashram PU College, Temple of Excellence. Today I shall start with a new chapter, polymers. So before I go into the details of polymers, we'll see the weightage of this chapter. Here you can see the chapter weightage is only 5 marks, that is one question you can expect from part D under 5 marks question. So you know 5 marks question can be split as 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. So what are polymers? Polymers, as the name tells, poly means many, mers means units. So many units, when it is put together, it forms a big molecule called as macromolecule, and such molecules are called as polymers. If we see the definition, it is defined as very large molecule with a high molecular mass of 103 to 107 U, obtained by repeating union of small units called as monomers. So the units which are repeated over and over again, that units are called as monomers, and many monomers, when it is put together, we get a polymer, which is a macromolecule. As I told you, in Greek, poly means many, mer means units or parts. Okay. So what is the definition of monomer? The simple molecule which undergoes polymerization or which combines to form polymers are called as monomers. So what is it? Simple molecules which combine to form polymers are called as monomers, and the process of converting monomers into polymers, that process is called as polymerization. What is it? The process of formation of polymers from the respective monomers is called as polymerization. So you can see many monomers, when it is undergoing the process of polymerization, we get polymers. That is, there is a link between the monomers to give polymers. Okay. Next we'll see about the classification of polymers. Classification, if you see, there are different modes of classification. First one is based on source, that is from where it is obtained. Second one is based on the structure of molecule. Third is based on the mode of polymerization, that is which type of polymerization takes place, based on that. And the fourth one is based on molecular forces, that is between the molecules what kind of bond is present or what kind of force is present. Based on that, there is classification. So we'll see, based on source we have three types: natural polymers, semi-synthetic polymers and synthetic polymers. Based on structure we have linear polymers, branch chain polymers, cross-linked or network polymers. Then based on type of polymerization we have addition polymers and condensation polymers, and classification based on molecular forces, that is we have elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic polymers, thermosetting polymers. Again, how is this question going to come for the exam? Is it important, ma'am? From the exam point of view, yes, they have asked based on sources, they have asked 1 or 2 times classification, and also they based on the molecular forces also they have asked in the previous paper. So this is an important question which can be asked for 3 marks or it can be even asked for 2 marks. Okay. So we'll go into the details of each type of classification. First one is classification based on source. So first under that, we have natural polymers. The polymers which are present naturally, which occurs naturally in plants and animals, we call them as natural polymers, which is just there naturally. It is not synthetic or it is not something which is man-made. Okay, so we can see examples: protein, cellulose, starch, resin, rubber, etc. are naturally occurring polymers. Okay, next is semi-synthetic polymers. So what is this semi-synthetic? For example, rubber is obtained from the rubber tree, that is the latex. Okay, it is very soft and it is not having a high tensile strength. Okay, that is the rubber which is obtained from the tree directly I am talking about. But what rubber usage which we can see around? For example, rubber is used in making tires, isn't it? So is that rubber very soft or something like that? No, it has got a high tensile strength. It's very strong, isn't it? So what is the process is, the natural rubber is then undergoing some changes chemically to get the type of rubber which is useful for us. Okay, so a naturally occurring polymer, you change it by some chemical process so that to improve the properties of that particular polymer, then such polymers we call it as semi-synthetic. Definition goes this way: these are polymers obtained by modification of natural polymers. So what we are doing? We are doing some modification. It can be chemical or physical modification to the natural polymers. We get semi-synthetic polymers. Example is rubber, and also cellulose acetate, rayon clothes, rayon clothes which you have come across is again a semi-synthetic polymer. Cellulose nitrate, etc. Or I can also give rubber is a best example. Okay. Next one is synthetic polymers. These are man-made polymers. You have number of examples for synthetic polymers, that is the plastic or polythene, synthetic fibers, nylon 66, or synthetic rubber. This is not natural rubber. Synthetic rubber, you have Buna S and Buna N are synthetic rubbers, or even neoprene are synthetic rubbers which is man-made. Okay, but there is also natural rubber which can undergo the process of vulcanization to give semi-synthetic polymers also. Okay, so that's about the classification of polymers based on source. Next is classification based on structure of polymers. So based on the structure we have three types. First one is linear polymer. The polymer which contains straight chain, linear chain, just one chain. Okay, monomers are linked with a single chain it will form. We call it as a linear polymer. Example we can give: high density polythene vinyl chloride, that is PVC, etc. are all linear polymers. If you see branched chain polymers, as the name tells, there is branching in the chain. So we call it as branch chain polymers. These polymers contain linear chain showing some branches. Example, low density polythene. You can see there is one single chain here. For that there are some branching. So it is branched polymer. Okay. Next is cross-linked or network polymers. So what is cross-linked or network polymers? You can see this is a linear chain, this is a linear chain, this is one more linear chain. Between them there are some links and it will form a network, or a cross-linked is formed, and such polymers we call it as cross-linked polymers. Definition: these are usually formed by bifunctional or trifunctional monomers. When there are functional group in the monomers, such polymers are obtained. They contain strong covalent bond between the various linear polymer chain. So what happens? The linear polymer chain are linked together with a strong covalent bond to form a cross-linked or a network polymer. Example we can give bakelite or melamine. Okay. So that's about the classification based on this structure. Next type of classification is based on mode of polymerization. First is addition polymer or addition polymerization. What happens here? The addition polymers are formed by repeated addition of monomers molecules possessing double bond or triple bond. Addition polymerization will occur with monomers which contain double or triple bond. So if there is a double bond or a triple bond in the monomer, then addition polymerization takes place. Example we can give: polythene from ethene or polypropene from propene. Further, this can be again classified as homopolymers and copolymers. Okay. So what do you mean by homopolymers? It is a type of polymerization in which the monomers are of only one type. Homopolymer means monomer is only of single type and that monomer contains double or triple bond. Okay, for example, if you take ethene, CH2 double bond CH2, here the bond is broken to link among themselves. To understand better, I shall write here. See, CH2 double bond CH2, I have one more CH2 molecule, double bond CH2 molecule. Similarly, CH2 molecule, double bond CH2 molecule is present. Now just imagine these has to bond with one another. So what will happen if these two have to bond with one another? The double bond is broken, a new bond is formed. Again, this double bond is broken, new bond is formed. Double bond is broken, new bond is formed. So it can continue over and over again. So what happens is, you can see the double bond is broken to form all the single bonds. Correct? So what do we write? Write CH2 twice, n number of times. So any number of times it can go on repeating. So I just write it like this. So the double bonds are broken to link among themselves to get a homopolymer, or this is an example for polythene. Okay. This is homopolymer. So we'll see what is copolymer. Now addition polymerization in which more than one type of monomer is present, we call them as copolymer. You can see an example of 1,3 butadiene and styrene. Okay, here CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH, double bond CH2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms. First carbon atom and the third carbon atom has the double bond. So 1,3 butadiene. Di because 2 double bonds are there. ENE because there is the presence of double bond. Buta because there are 4 carbon atoms. So you already know the naming, but still just a revision. So this is 1,3 butadiene and this is styrene, that is CH2 double bond CH2, and the first carbon atom is having C6H5, or I can also write it like this: CH2 double bond CH with a benzene ring. C6H5 can also be written this way. It's called as styrene. Now what happens here is, this double bond is broken, this is broken. So now these two carbon atoms are short of one bond. So a new double bond is formed between these two. This will get extended, this will get extended, bonding to this carbon atom with a double bond. So you can see CH2, CH, double bond, CH, single bond, CH2, CH, CH2 with this CH, C6H5 remains as it is. It is not undergoing any type of reaction. To be more clear, if you still have not understood, I shall just write it. So it is CH2, double bond, CH, single bond, CH, double bond, CH2 is present. For this, what do we have? CH, double bond, CH2, and here we have a benzene ring. Correct? Now, this bond is broken, this bond is broken, these two will form a bond. Here again extension can be present, so this bond will break to form bond with one more, and here also one more bond can be formed. Now you count the number of bonds here. Carbon 1, 2, 3, only 3 are there. For this carbon also 1, 2, 3, only 3 are present. Correct? So you'll have to remove the double bonds from where it is present, and there is a possibility of a new double bond which is formed in the product. So you should take care when you write from the monomers to the polymer structure. Okay. Next we have condensation polymers or condensation polymerization. In this type of polymerization, there is an elimination of small molecules like water, alcohol, etc. And also the monomers which are reacting will have bifunctional or trifunctional groups. We learn with an example of nylon 6,6. Okay, it is a type of condensation polymer in which we are using hexamethylene diamine. You can see CH2 6 times, NH2, NH2. So you have 2 amine groups and 6 methylene groups, and adipic acid, that is CH2 4 times, COOH, COOH. So you can see there are 2 functional groups. One COH group is there, in the other one NH2 group is there. Now when these two react with one another, what will happen? You have OH and one hydrogen which is removed as water molecule. So what will remain here? With the nitrogen, one hydrogen atom will remain. With carbon, you have one double bond O which is remaining. So you will have an NHCO bond which is formed. You can see here NHCO bond is formed by the elimination of water. Similarly, you have to just imagine there is one more molecule of adipic acid here reacting. There is one more molecule of hexamethylene diamine which is reacting. So from here also OH will be removed, and here there is one more hydrogen which is removed, so that you can show the linkage, further linkage. So you can see here CH26 NH. There is a further line which I have drawn, that means that there is some more molecules which are possible. Similarly, CH2 4 times C double bond O, and I have shown the linkage so that number of molecules can be present. So this one is called as nylon 6,6. The name 6,6, see CH2 6 times, so 6 carbon atoms I have. In the adipic acid also there are 6 carbon atoms, 4 of CH2, 5, 6. That's the name. That's why the name nylon 6,6 is there for this particular polymer. And what is removed here? Water molecule is removed, and this n number of times it can repeat. Okay, so that's about the condensation polymerization. Further, you will be learning about some of the types of condensation polymerization. You will understand it better. Okay. Next type of classification is based on molecular forces. Under this, first one is elastomer. These are polymers which is having elastic property, that is, they are rubber-like solids with elastic property. These polymer chains are held together with the weakest intermolecular forces and thus can be stretched. It has got a very weak intermolecular force of attraction, that's why it can be stretched, and when it is left behind, it will come back to get its original shape. There are few cross links, because of which when it is stretched and left back, it will come to the original shape, or it is not necessary that it will come back to the original shape. It can keep on getting stretched, isn't it? So what happens is, the force of attraction is weak between the molecules, but there are few cross links which is taking care that once you stretch and then if you just expand and then leave it free, it comes back to its original shape. That's why that elastic property it has got. Okay. Example, you can see Buna S, Buna N, neoprene, etc., which are synthetic rubber which we have given as examples. Next we have is fibers. As they have a thread-like structure, they are basically called as fibers, and they have a high tensile strength and high modules are present in fibers. Okay. Polymer chain are held together by strong hydrogen bond. Due to hydrogen bond, there is a close packing in the chain and they have a crystalline nature. Example, we can give polyamide nylon 6,6 or polyester terylene. We know that nylon clothes which you have seen spoiled very fast, if I have to tell, or tearing and all is not there compared to the other clothes. That is because their fibers are very strong and they have a hydrogen bond, a strong hydrogen bond between the molecules, and they are densely packed as well. Okay, so that's about the fibers. Next we have is thermoplastic polymers. These are polymers which on heating will become soft, and when it is soft and it is still hot, you can blow it or you can give it a different shape, and on cooling it will harden. So it is called as thermoplastic polymers. You can see these are linear or slightly branched long chain polymers capable of repeating softening on heating and hardening on cooling. So polymer chains are held together by forces intermediate between elastomers and fibers. Elastomers have weak intermolecular force of attraction, but fibers have a very strong intermolecular force of attraction. These thermosetting plastics or thermoplastics will fall in between elastomers as well as fibers. Okay. Example, polythene, polystyrene, PVC, etc. Last one is thermosetting polymers. These polymers have got extensive cross-linking and heavily branched molecules are present. On heating, they get the cross-links. Okay, on cooling, they will harden, but again on heating, they will not get softened. That is, when you're preparing such thermosetting plastics, for the first time when you're heating, you should give the shape what is required for this kind of plastics, because once on heating they will form a cross links and which cannot be broken again on heating if necessary, that if you want to remold. So these cannot be remolded over and over again. Okay, so once it is molded, it becomes infusible. Okay, and it cannot be reused. So example, Bakelite, urea formaldehyde resins, etc. So these are thermosetting polymers. So under types of molecular forces, you have elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic polymers, thermosetting polymers. It's very important to learn this classification also. Next class, we'll be learning about types of polymerization reaction and preparation of some important polymers. So I hope you have understood today's class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned, stay focused.